Hi, Justin Ngui from the Ngui Style Clinic of Integrated Medicine. So, I've just come from the clinic, so sorry about the mask. So the nature of connection and healing is what I wanted to talk about today. Because a lot of people struggle with the connecting to people, connecting to themselves, connecting to the environment, to the earth, to the universe. Those are all very important aspects of life. But in regards to healing, how does that actually make a difference? How does me being social help my ability to heal from, let's say, back pain or any other kind of ailment? How can that possibly make a difference? Well, it can. It can, because when you connect to something, someone, the earth, the stars, whatever it is, that establishes a yin and yang relationship with you and that thing. Okay, so hear me out here. So this one, maybe it's hard to wrap your head around if you haven't delved into the yin and yang theory. But let's just say, to simplify things, yin and yang theory means two things have a relationship but not necessarily the same. Even though they're not the same, there is a symbiotic functionality between how those things move together. Those things somehow are able to coexist and synchronize and fill in the gaps that the other one misses. So those gaps, the yin fills in the gaps of the yang fills in the gaps of the yin, and then somehow they're able to come together like puzzle pieces and work symbiotically as a single organism, as a single entity. So this is often the case with the conversations, with the connections, is that when you are able to connect to something, let's say a person, then when you're able to do that, that person has a relationship with you that is different than you. That person is the yang, for example, and you are the yin. And although you don't fit together exactly, necessarily, the juxtaposition of the things allows things to start shifting. It allows the pendulum to swing, right? Because nothing is exactly like you. Nothing's exactly like you. So anything that you connect with is going to have a disproportionate weight to what you are. Disproportionate energy to what you have. So, when that happens, the interplay of those two things, especially if there's a strong connection, creates this movement of energy, creates this movement of qi. Once you start creating movements of qi, we've seen this time and time again with many things. Once you start creating momentum, once you start creating a flow, that flow not only exists within your mind, because you're having a mental exchange with that thing, whether it's a person or a place or whatever it is, you're also having a physical exchange, a physiological exchange, something's happening within the body, and then you're also having an emotional exchange, which you can look as also chemical, or you can look at it as nearing towards the spiritual or the metaphysical, inside the body. We're reaching depths that we can't physiologically measure when we have connections to people. And if you can hit all those things, if you can hit the mental, the physical, and the emotional, if you can check mark all those things, then guess what? To the person that has the back pain, you start to feel better because your body starts to work. Your body starts to check all the things that help it to stay healthy, help it to recover, that help it to regenerate cells, that help it to do all the things that the body and the spirit and the mind and all those things that it knows how to do. Now you just need to direct it. So if the body knows what to do, and the missing piece of the puzzle is you need to direct it to say, hey, fix my back, I need to focus on my back, then you have a lot of fuel to do a lot of healing. So that's a big part of how we can facilitate healing through connection. That is why connection is so super important. And it doesn't just have to be with people. Connection to the earth, putting your feet in the ground, connecting to nature, connecting to the universe, the stars, the sun, the sky, those things. Connecting within. More importantly, you don't need anything else, just yourself. Connecting within, connecting to the true self, connecting to the person that you are, that you've been hiding because you feel like you have to, because you feel like the world needs to see this part of you, that your family needs to see this part of you, that your friends need to see this part of you, that the work needs to see this part of you. And the part of you that actually is true, somehow it gets lost in all the windows of your life, the things that people look through. They see bits of you, and the rest of the window is the thing that the facade that you put up, the part of you that you put up to display, the part of you that is working, right? The show part of you that must show up in a very specific way. But you, without having to show up according to somebody else's requirements, that part of you that just exists without anybody else around, that part of you, that's the inward part. That's the part that you need to get in touch with more, because that's the part that for a lot of us, especially in North America, that are doing the 9-to-5, or they're working all day, or they have the children, they have to show up for people, we often show up in a way that suits the environment. It doesn't suit necessarily ourselves. Maybe we should pay attention more about the connections and how to facilitate what comes to us through those connections. How to maximize and harness the energy we receive through connections, and then use that energy to help us heal. That's the magic right there. That's the thing that people can do on their daily routine, on their daily grind, that they can do for themselves without help from anyone. You don't need anything to do that. You have all the tools. People often ask me at the clinic, but what can I do to help heal myself? What can I do besides coming to you for treatment? I love coming to you, but I don't want to have to always come here when something's wrong. Well, here's what you can do. You can connect to the people, connect to the earth, connect to the universe, connect to yourself, and use that energy, facilitate healing through that energy. Use that energy that you've gathered to help direct the body in continuing to feel good. Right? Promote the goodness. We want to direct the body and direct the mind and the emotions to a place where it helps us to heal, to a place that feels good. And through that feeling good, the body, the mind, the emotions, they'll heal if you let them. So please think about that the next time you have a connection. Connection outwardly, connection inwardly, and use that energy to help you continue to feel good. And that's what healing's about. Healing is not just about fixing something that's broke. It's also about continuing to grow yourself in the direction that you choose. Feel good.